Greetings, drinking buddies. Today we're doing the top 5 bottles of bourbon of 2021 according to your drinking buddy.
I'm your drinking buddy.
Alright, drinking buddies, so 2021 was a really good year for releases, I feel like. I've really only been seriously buying bourbon since 2020. I've been drinking bourbon for years, but seriously buying, collecting, seeking it out since 2020. And so about a little over 2 years of hunting for bourbon. And I feel like 2021 was a lot better than 2020. Maybe that's just me, but that's just the way I feel. I did want to start with a couple honorable mentions. Now, these are a few bottles that I had that I really liked that I just didn't land a bottle of. And so that's going to be Remus Repeal 5 was amazing. It might even be the best bourbon I had all year, but I only was able to taste it once and I was not able to buy a bottle. I did have an opportunity, but at the time I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was. And by the time I tasted it, the opportunity was gone. I wish I had bought Remus Repeal 5 because it was so good. The next one is going to be the Blood Oath Pack 7, which was finished in Sauternus casks. Really, really quality bourbon. I really liked Blood Oath Pack 7. Another bottle that I had an opportunity to buy, saw the price tag, thought it was a little too much, and then when I finally tasted it, I was like, wow, this is worth every penny. But by then it was too late. So sometimes you can't sleep on those higher dollar bottles. And sometimes you just have to take the risk. Sometimes you might end up with a stinker, but I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty careful and generally only buy brands that I know I'm gonna really like. And now I'm gonna add Blood Oath to that list because Blood Oath Pack 7 was really good. Next up is the Coy Hill Jack Daniels. Now this packed a mean punch. I did not have an opportunity to buy this. In fact, if I hadn't got it to taste it and hold the bottle in my hand, I might believe that it doesn't even exist because I've never heard of even anyone seeing it in a store or it landing in a store. But it apparently exists. I actually really liked it. It doesn't taste like it's 140 proof, but it was probably the strongest bourbon I've ever tasted, and it still tasted quite nice. I liked it. For my top 5 bottles, I'm gonna use the same rules that Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans used in their video. I'm gonna go ahead and link their video in my description and recommend you check out their channel. If you're not subscribed to them, they're a really good whiskey channel. So the way he did it was he had 3 bottles that were unique to this year's release. So some of the ones like I was just mentioning, and then 2 bottles that he got this year that were regular releases that are extremely hard to find and that he landed this year. So I'm gonna use that same metric. So we're gonna start with the 2 bottles that I landed this year that are extremely hard to find, and they're my 2 favorite bottles that I landed. And I actually got them both on the same day. Weller 12 and EH Single Barrel. These 2 bottles are 2 that I've been looking for a long time, and I'm very, very happy with both. The retail was a little bit higher on this guy than what it should be, but it was still worth it. And the EH Single Barrel is almost 12 years old, so almost 24 years of aging between these 2 bottles. Really, really solid stuff. I feel like this is peak wheated bourbon. I can't think of a wheated bourbon that could possibly taste better than this, except for maybe the Weller Antique 107. And I've never had any of the Pappy line, of course. But maybe soon. At least a tasting of it, I believe, could be in my near future. And then, the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, man, if you like E.H. Taylor, this is just E.H. Taylor, times 10. That 100 proof is like a great proof point for bourbon. That's why a lot of bourbons are 100 proof. And this is just loaded with great flavor. It's got a lot of oakiness. It's a little bit dry, but still sweet. Got the great qualities between a young and an older bourbon. 2 great bottles, very happy I landed them. My top 2 bottles of the year that I landed. Other than our next 3. So the next 3 are all going to be bottles that were, one-time release, limited release for this year. And so for my 3rd favorite bottle of the year that was a limited release, I'm gonna go with FAEO2 Maker's Mark. This is sitting at 109.1 proof. This one for me has got a lot of great cherry flavor. It's got some great oak flavor coming through. Really loaded up with cinnamon and vanilla. Wonderful bottle. I bought it back up immediately because I knew that I would never see it again. It's a one-time release deal, and yeah, love this bottle. Very, very, very good bottle. I think that the standard Maker's offering line, which is Maker's Mark, Maker's Cask Strength, and Maker's 101, are fairly weak to me. They're not great bourbons for me. But when you include all of their other offerings where they're doing the interesting wood finishing stuff, starting with the bottles from Maker's 46 and up, this stuff's great. The stuff they're doing is really unique, really interesting, really flavorful, and really fun. I highly recommend, if you're a weeder fan at all, you check out Maker's Mark's other offerings. Number 2. Stag Junior Batch 16. This one's sitting at, let me do better than that. Stag Junior Batch 16. So this one's sitting at 130.9 proof. This flavor bomb is the best Stag offering that I have tasted. I have not had a lot of them, but I have had a few, and this is my favorite one I've tasted so far. I have not been able to taste the 17 yet, which might be more considered a 22 release anyway. But 16, this is so quality. It blows 15 out of the water for me. This one's just loaded with tobacco and leather and oak and vanilla, and oh, it's just got so much going on. There's so much flavor on this one, and it is just well worth hunting for. Stag is a hard bottle to find. I get it, but when you can land one, it's a great feeling when you land one that's something that you've been hunting that hard. And this is just such a fantastic bottle. And my bottle of the year, my 2021 bottle of the year. You know how much I love turkey. You should have guessed it would be a turkey product. Master's Keep one. This is the best thing I tasted all year. It's got a great presentation, and this bottle is just so fantastic. So what did they do here? It's 101 proof, and what they did here was they took bourbons between 9 and 14 years old, blended them together, and then put them in a toasted finish. So, you know, it does have some similarity to your Elijah Craig toasted barrel, or maybe like a Old Forester 1920. Those double barrel offerings come out really sweet and really desserty, and this one definitely does too. You get a little bit of that trademark turkey spice, you know, cinnamon, nutmeg, you know, baking spices. Just a wonderful bottle. But I actually think maybe the price point might have helped me in that regard. Because this is such an expensive bottle, I feel like not as many people were hunting it. I hear so many times where, you know, a Total Wine is gonna get 3 bottles of something rare, there's 9 people waiting there when they open. And I got there right after they opened, and I believe they just put it out. There still wasn't a price tag on it, but they got 2 bottles, and I grabbed the first one and somebody else grabbed the second one immediately after. But no one was waiting for this one, and I think that has to do with the high price points. So sometimes a high price point can really come in handy, like now. But yeah, this was my bottle of the year. I can't wait to make this list again for next year. Some of the things that are coming out this year should be really fun. And yeah, I hope this year I can land even more crazy bottles. I'm hoping for a Van Winkle. I'm hoping for maybe a BTAC maybe this year, you know. We'll see. We'll see what we can find while we're out there hunting. And you know, for me, the hunt is part of the fun of the hobby. You know, not just drinking the stuff, but the thrill of the chase and the thrill of finding something rare. And that really awesome feeling you get when you land something super rare is part of why this is fun for me. So if you're new to bourbon, look forward to that. And also look forward to a lot of disappointment. Look forward to walking into a lot of stores and not finding anything you want to buy. But then still usually buying something anyway, because you don't want to walk out of that store empty-handed. But hey, that's how you end up finding some hidden gems. You know, I've definitely landed some bottles that I, you know, only bought because they didn't have what I was looking for and I ended up loving. So thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.